Laura Jean. I am a business coach here in Toronto, and I help women entrepreneurs grow 6- and 7-figure businesses. And I'm so excited to be here with Cheryl Sutherland today. She is the CEO and founder of Please Notes, and you're going to love her. She basically everything she does is about creating success for other women. So I had to get her best success tips. So welcome, Cheryl. Nice to have you here.
Oh my gosh.
I was telling Cheryl when we were practicing that she needs to have her own show, and I think you will agree after seeing this video. So Cheryl, tell us a bit about what you do with your business.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I have to say thank you so much for having me on here. This is so fun. Like, I loved your energy when I first met you, and I was like, how do we do some magic together? So look at us doing magic together. Like Laura Jean said, my name is Cheryl Sutherland, and I have a couple different things that I do. However, all of my brands are all about helping you become your favorite version of you. So I primarily do that through my product line. It's a personal growth gift line, really about positivity, all that sort of stuff. And of course, yes, we've got the guided clarity journal. Thank you so much. Like, it's all just personal growth tools. So I've got like guided journals, whether it be affirmation journals or gratitude journals, clarity journals, dream journals, manifestation journals. I've also got sweet little reminders that you could be to or have anything you want. So some of the ones that I have just sitting around here, I've got like my sticky notes that all have a different affirmation on the top. I've also got like enamel pins like this one that says like manifest magic. Yes. Yes. And then I've got like water bottle labels, and like mirror decals, but authentically it's like, how many ways can I continue to remind myself to be happy, to be positive, that things are working out for me, that things are falling into place. And then an extension of that has been more of this. So doing more like workshops and courses and just all these different bits that people can start, being more themselves, like trusting themselves, stepping into their own power and creating what success looks like for them.
So perfect segue. What does success look like for you? How do you define it?
Great question. So honestly, my definition of success has changed over the years. At first, I had this inclination that once I had like $1 million, that's what success looked like. And as things have gone along, it really came down to the fact that I love doing what I'm doing and spending the majority of my days doing things that I love doing things that fill me. I'm helping people in my own way. And then also, of course, having the freedom to do the things that I want to do when I want to do them. So I have the ability to do all that. And I actually had a conversation with myself the other day, and I'm like, wait a second, Cheryl, you're successful. Like, this is what we were going for. And like, we've achieved it. And congratulations. I'm so proud of you. So that's what success looks like to me.
That is so sweet. So would that be, I mean, we're getting hints definitely of what you would consider your keys to success in terms of using the tools you've created, but can you share with us a little bit of your own personal tools? It sounds like having conversations with yourself and really acknowledging all that you've accomplished is one of them.
Yeah, definitely having like an introspective part of that. So whether you decide to do journaling, so of course, all of my journals are guided. So if you're like, how do I get started? Like, I used to be a huge journaling hater, like, this is horrible. Why would anybody do this? And now I own a company that primarily sells journals. It's a thing. So using one of those to really get in there. And then I think most authentically really connecting with, why is it that you want the things that you want? Of course, normally we want the things that we want because we feel we're going to achieve something or feel different or like be seen a different way. So if we can start quantifying what those things are and choose into living those more frequently, then of course, then we'll be able to have that level of success, attract that level of success. And I think another thing about being successful is really recontextualizing what that looked like. So previously, it had to be like, I had to work for it. I had to do something. I had to struggle and then like get to the top of the mountain and be like, I did it. And now I don't know if it's because I'm older. I'm like, that's just exhausting. So my definition of success also comes down to like letting things be easy, working with the universe, like letting people help me and letting things fall into place.
I love all of that. I just need to quickly mention, if you hear snoring, I have my dog here. One of my definitions of success is being able to have my animals with me. So this Louis is an old guy and he snores really loud. So if you hear stuff in the background, that's all that's happening there.
We'll be quiet.
So, I mean, I absolutely love that. I think you're so bang on in that. A lot of people fall into that trap of thinking that success has to be hard, and it's something, maybe that's something ingrained in us, you know, when we're brought up or whatever. But I love recontextualizing it so that it's, I guess, enjoying the journey. So much of this stuff is cliches, right? But their cliches work for a reason.
Right. It's kind of like when you hear that the stove is hot and you're like, yeah, yeah, okay. And then you actually touch the stove and you're like, it just comes in a different way when you like get to that deeper level of understanding.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Very good analogy. It's true. So tell me a bit about the workshops that you do and what I think you have one upcoming on August 20th.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that one. So the workshops that I do are really mostly around your personal growth work and like really the applicable stuff to your day to day. So whether it's, you know, you're feeling in a rut and you're like, I know I'm supposed to practice gratitude or that this is good for me. How do I actually do that? I have a course for that. If you're thinking about like, how do I take these next steps in my life? What is it that I actually want? Like what does clarity look like for me? What does success look like for me? Then of course I've got another 6-week course coming out with that, really about getting into journaling your way to clarity. And then whether it's, and the one that's going on the 20th, I think is really, really juicy because I know for myself, especially when it came to work, back in the day when I used to work for someone else, I had this idea that I needed to just be the yes person or always flow with and like don't ask for too much, you know, like all these different things. Like even if you wanted different work hours or different boundaries, it was like, I can't do that. That just means so much. But with the value your value, keys to negotiating with your work for your worth, that particular course really is getting into creating evidence that yes, you deserve the things that you want. B, actually deciding what is it that I want? What do I want that to look like? Whether it's like different hours around work, different boundaries, it could even be switching careers altogether, whatever that needs to look like. And then of course, the last one is actually having the ask, like really making it easy for people to say yes to you. Like what way are you communicating and what way can you choose to communicate from like a place of power, from a place of clarity? Again, so people are like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Here, Merry Christmas. And just
That's really, tell me the title again. Value your value.
yeah, value your value, keys to negotiating for your worth.
I just love it. That sounds so juicy, and I love how you've broken it down so simply into the three steps or the three whatever. It's like awesome. That sounds like an amazing workshop. Um, so just switching gears a little bit, before we started recording, you were telling me that you've had some great business growth, some new success there. Do you want to share a little bit about what's been happening in your business in general?
Yeah, for sure. So, of course, as y'all know, I sell these gorgeous physical products. And however, I personally have felt like I had grown past just doing the business, i.e., that same level of excitement that I used to have when I was doing email newsletters or going to do like not workshops, going to do like trade shows or like flea markets. It wasn't there anymore. And where it had gone to was doing more things like this, where I'm able to support people in the actual application of these processes that I love so much. And the tricky thing is I had felt like I was caught up in a lot of inertia, not being able to step away from that because I had all these responsibilities that I couldn't really get out from, or I didn't feel there was a way that I could separate myself from that. So with Rona season, it was really great because it was like, there you go. There's the inertia. Merry Christmas. So what is it that you actually want? And this is one of the reasons that I really love that clarity journal, because it takes you through, okay, where are you spending your time? What are you actually doing? Are you doing things that are in alignment with who you are and what you want to create? And so it really gave me the space to be like, okay, cool. I've got a little buffer, time, money, et cetera, in order to start really implementing these new things and playing with these new things. And then had like based on results, like really great feedback about them, and transitioning my workshops from just being physical to being online now has been really fun. So
Awesome. did you have, because you're such a positive person and your energy is just off the charts. Like you, who wouldn't want to be in your workshop? I just feel like, my God, I know who wouldn't want to be in it.
Haven't met them. I feel like Mariah Carey. I don't know her.
Fun to be around, right? And what I'm wondering is, like, do you get down? Do you, like, before you kind of saw the pivot happening, and Corona, just as an example, when Corona first came in, and like, probably, everyone kind of had that moment of like, oh my God, like everything's changed, it's so unpredictable. Do you get down, or do you get back up really quickly, or?
Okay, so I feel like I need to preface this with saying that my life, people will look at it and be like, it's either a really big like dumpster fire, or it's going to be an amazing lifetime movie, because I just have like a lot of transitions that happen in my life. And I think part of doing this work is also understanding that everything is always working out, that everything is always going to be okay. So I think for myself, it was a little bit easier to go through a lot of these transitions because I'm so used to it. However, I think a big part of it is building up my EQ and my emotional resiliency by doing a lot of this journaling and by doing a lot of this personal growth work. So much so when things do happen, and then I know that there's always a solution. Okay, so what's the next step? I feel like I'm singing like Frozen, but like just choose the next best step. Like, what is it that feels good, and just doing that. What is it that feels right, in alignment? Like, what is taking you closer to the successful version of you, and doing that step and feeling really good about it.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to add? We've got like a couple minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is if anybody's really struggling throughout this time, really having the time to take some time and like sit down, like whether it's starting a meditation practice, whether it's starting a journaling practice, see what levels of introspection that you can do, so you can really identify what the feeling is, and then like break it apart. Be like, okay, well, what does this mean? Why am I letting this mean this? What is it that I want? And then allowing that to come into place for you. And then of course, asking for help or looking for resources. Luckily for us, we have the internet. So whether it's going to one of my workshops or getting one of my products, whether it's connecting with a group of people that are also not going through similar things, however, that are very mindful of the fact that there's always something better happening, and just starting to train yourself into looking at the things that are great. Like a gratitude practice is amazing. Following different Instagram pages that are also very positive, like that are also very knowing of like, yeah, this is kind of not the best right now, and what is the best that we can bring from it, or what is the next thing that we actually want, that we want to desire, that we want to come into our life, and then stay focused on that. So make sure that you follow me on Instagram. I have really great content, and occasionally I show up there in person as well. However, I think that just creating the life that you want based on the outcome that you desire is going to be super important.
Beautiful. That's perfect advice, and so perfect coming from you. It's like clear that you, what's the phrase? You walk the walk as well as talk the talk. So it's awesome. Thanks so much. We'll include all the links so people can get in touch with you. And thanks so much for joining us today to talk about success.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Right back at you.